Hello everyone and welcome back to Behind the Reel. My name is Ben Farmer and today I'm really excited that you're here. We're going to talk about Star Wars and how they did the lightsabers in each of the trilogies and then how you can do them at home. So back in 1977 when the original Star Wars came out, before it was even called A New Hope, we had something called a lightsaber. And in order to do this, what they did was they took an old camera flash from, and I'm going to use Luke's lightsaber for an example, a Graflex. And a Graflex was a type of camera, and the flash handle that was on a Graflex, which you can see right here, is what they used to make the base of the lightsaber. After that, they took a bunch of like what I call greeblies and just stuff that they put on, and they built this hilt of a lightsaber. It was really, really cool. So what they did is they took one of those hilts that they just built out of nothing almost. They took a motor, put it inside the lightsaber hilt, and then they attached a pole to it so it would rotate, and then they wrapped it in movie screen material. And that movie screen material, when it has light hit it, will reflect back into the camera, and that gave you the cool lightsaber effect. And the crazy thing about it is that as they went on in the films, this got a lot easier. So in the very first film, they had this motor and it turned, and they used that throughout the films. But it got significantly lighter as they went on, so you can see even in Empire Strikes Back, Darth Vader using one hand to use his lightsaber instead of two, like in A New Hope. So what was really cool about the prequels is that because technology had evolved, we didn't need a motor or anything like that for the lightsabers anymore. So what they did was they had either a wood pole or a metal pole, and it was colored a certain way. So it could have been red or, some different colors so they wouldn't interact with the blue or green screen that was behind them, since all those films were shot digitally for the most part. All they did was go into the editor, and this is sort of similar to what you can do at home. What they did was they went into the editing system and they rotoscoped, which is a fancy term for painted it out, and made the lightsabers happen in the post-production process of the films. And that's a lot like what you can do at home now with After Effects or Premiere Pro even, and DaVinci Resolve. I'm sure you can do it in a lot of other programs, but it's really easy to make lightsabers now at home, when back then it was probably a really strenuous process. You can find a bunch of tutorials online to make your lightsabers at home with After Effects, Premiere, whatever you are using, but the idea is very simple. So if you have something like a lightsaber, maybe you have a hilt or something like that, even if it's just a stick. One thing that I've always used when I did lightsabers at home, if I was, making a movie with my friends and lightsabers were involved most of the time, is I would use Video Copilot's Saber plugin. I'm sure there's some cooler ones now that make it a lot easier, but this was a great one. All you just had to do was time it out in After Effects and put your keyframes on so that it would follow through. And it was a lot of fun because you got to really meticulously see how long it would take. Even at home, it took you a long time. Imagine what it took the production team on Star Wars to do that for the very first time in the prequels. So for the sequel trilogy, or the films that were done after Disney purchased the rights to Star Wars, you can see that there's something different about the lightsaber. It's the reflectiveness of the light on the actors, or it's the reflections in the helmets of Mando or of Darth Vader, you name it. We see something different with the lightsabers. There's just this different feel to it. It's a glow. And that is because when they shot these new series and films, they used lightsabers that actually lit up. It just has this certain glow about it. And it's really, really cool that they did this. They have lightsabers that actually project light onto the actors. And it's just that subtle addition that makes it really cool to me. So here's an example of what the lightsabers in the sequel trilogy are like. And this is a replica of the Graflex saber, which is a mixture right now of Luke's from Empire Strikes Back and The Force Awakens. And because you have this blade that is projecting light onto you, it looks really good on camera. You have to add a little bit in post to make it really, really pop, but you can see the light projecting on my face. So this is what I was talking about when you're at home. If you have like a toy lightsaber that it projects even a little bit of light, that's much better than you can get with just a stick. It just adds that level of authenticity. I think it's just something subtle that people don't really notice. So if you get, I'm gonna turn this off. If you get a close-up shot of your actor and you can see the saber in their eyes, I think that adds a little bit of tension. It adds a little bit of authenticity. and it looks really, really good. And that's one thing that I commend the sequel trilogy for. That's a wrap for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hit like and subscribe. Be sure to comment below what your favorite Star Wars film is, because I'm curious to know. And we'll see you next time on Behind the Reel. God bless.